carshowclassic.com.
My name is Ralf Rodepeter. I'm the head of the BMW Museum here in Munich, next to the headquarters of BMW, where we started with a brand BMW now nearly 100 years ago, where our very first airplane engines were designed, constructed and tested. So the town of Munich was growing around this area where we still produce cars, where our headquarters is located, and also the BMW world on the other side of the road. We have, of course, also the museum. So the old part of the museum was opened in 1973, and it was a very new thing to build a museum for a brand. Nowadays it's more common in marketing to have brand museums, but when Karl Schwanzer, the architect of the museum, thought about the museum first, he said cars and motorcycles should not be, they were not built for a museum, they should be on the street. So he built a street inside the building to display the motorcycles and the cars. And when we were thinking about the new part of the BMW Museum, the much larger part nowadays, we took over this idea from Karl Schwanzer, more than 40 years old, and built again streets inside the building and houses, so that you have the feeling of walking through a town. And our exponents are displayed inside these houses. Each of these houses dedicated to one theme. Here we are standing in the House of Motorsport with one of the most important motorsport cars from the BMW history behind me. But of course you see other themes in our house, like the history of design, the history of motorcycles, the history of marketing itself also, and so on. The museum is designed that you as a visitor cannot even see the museum, but you feel it, of course. We have an architecture of perspective, so the lines of the house will lead you to the most important, the most beautiful exponents of the exhibition. The house itself is nearly away because we keep it in black and white and gray. The colors should come from our visitors, of course, and of the cars and motorcycles. So we want to pronounce the exhibition and not the design or the architecture of the house. But of course you feel the architecture, the beautiful architecture of the house, but you should not see it when you walk through the exhibition. In nearly all areas you can go very, very close to the cars and motorcycles. Only a few of them are hidden away to protect them because they are very fragile. But our idea was to let the people, let the guests really go close to the car. So we don't want to have a distance between the customers, the drivers of cars and motorcycles, and the exhibition itself. Nearly all the cars and the motorcycles you see here at the museum are took out nearly every year and sent to classic races, to classic rallies, to exhibitions. So the museum is not a garage for our cars and motorcycles. We want to put them out. It is very important for us that these cars are still running. Not one of the cars or motorcycles you see here is a fake. They are all working and we use them every year again during the summertime. We use these cars for several racing. I think the most important, or the most important is the Mille Miglia, where we take part every year with around 10 or 12 cars here from the museum. And last year in 2010 we won with this car behind me again the Mille Miglia, like we did it 70 years ago with exactly the same car. And these are the stories what we like to tell to our visitors, because it makes it extremely lively. The museum is not something where we put something in it, it stands there for the rest of the life of the exhibition. We have a part of the museum that gives temporary exhibitions, where we have around 2 or 3 exhibitions a year, and we have a permanent part of the exhibition where we talk about the history, as I said before, about the themes, where we come from, what we are doing. But 1,000 square meters are reserved for actual themes, where we at the moment, the art car exhibition, we had an exhibition about architecture, we had an exhibition about concept vehicles from the past until actual concept vehicles.
More classic supercars, please visit carshowclassic.com.